If there's one piece of advice I could give everybody regarding starting your fitness journey, it is going to be the advice I am laying out for you in this video. The reason I'm confident about that is because there's so much information on the internet about fitness, about the workouts to do, about what to eat, all this stuff, right? And you know all of this stuff. But there's a reason that 95% of the world still doesn't exercise, still isn't in amazing shape. But we're going to solve that. You guys clicked on this video for a reason. You're trusting me to help you. So we're going to answer a question that I finally see somebody asked. Because the most important thing when it comes to getting in shape is not your diet, it's not your routine, it's the people you have around you. You are much more likely to get in shape if your 5 best friends go to the gym every single day than if you got the perfect workout program and joined a $5,000 a month coaching plan. You're much more likely if just the people around you are right. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how to build that network as a young man. How do you become more social, build a positive community at your gym? I noticed I'm part of the problem. I'm heads down and pretty cold to the gym from years of being at commercial gyms without any community. I'm now in a small gym where this attitude isn't really necessary, but I'm not sure what is and isn't acceptable. So, big picture. How have you built a more positive environment in your gym or fitness activities? What actual actions do you take, and what did you notice from others? Now, number 1. This guy said he started out at commercial gyms for most of his life, right, without any community. That is sort of the norm. If you go to a Planet Fitness, a Snap Fitness, Fitness 19, LA Fitness, if you go to one of these sort of more commercial starter type of gyms, you're going to be filled with a lot of people that are nervous, that kind of keep to themselves. If you're a young man, you're probably going to be, it's going to be people in an older age bracket, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But there's different etiquette for that, whether compared to a bodybuilding gym per se, when it's going to be all people your age, have similar goals as you. There's going to be more of a natural community there. So he wasn't doing anything wrong by keeping his head down, but at this new gym, it'd be a lot more advantageous of him to be more social and to learn about his peers that are there as well, so they can help him on his journey, especially at the gym. So he says, what actual actions do you take and what did you notice from others? The first action you have to take comes from within, right? The first thing you need to do if you want to become more social is look deep inside of yourself. You cannot walk up to people being nervous, being scared to talk to them, and expect you to treat them how you want to be treated. You're going to come off as creepy or weird in a way, which it's unfortunate because you're not trying to be that way. But if you're nervous, it comes off weird. There's no reason to be nervous, especially if you're around other people that are doing a similar thing. You guys are in the same place at the same time, in some cases less than 10 feet away from each other. It is not weird to have a conversation with them in between sets, right? So you need to become more confident about that. Number 1. Confidence. Something you're going to notice from others when you have that confidence is people are going to be more receptive. You're going to be able to make friends easier. You're going to have, like when people call other people charming, somebody who's charming, they make friends easily, right? That's just an inner confidence throughout them. And that comes from, like, imagine if you walk up to somebody and you think you're bothering them, right? You're like, oh, if I walk up to them, I'm disturbing their workout. That's the opposite of confidence. Right? You're actually worried. You're actually concerned that you are causing a net negative to their life. Confidence is saying, okay, I'm going to walk up and talk to this person and I'm going to give them some value, or I'm going to receive some value from them in return, just from a amazing conversation, or maybe you give them a tip on their workout or something. We're not talking from a beginner standpoint. We're talking from, you've been going to the gym for a while, or you're at least interested in it. You know you want to do it. Like, you don't have to have a physique to do this. You just have to have the learner's attitude. So you're going to notice that other people are more charmed by your presence. He then says, it's not sure if this is allowed, but do we know why posts get locked? So blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so I find this comment interesting. He says, at my last gym, I started with a personal trainer, and that was the inroad to making friends with other staff, members, and regulars. We had inside jokes and did group workouts. They were a very cool bunch. Now, if you're not somebody looking for a personal trainer, this works with absolutely anybody who either works there or frequents there, right? I know you guys who go to the gym, you go similar time every day. You see a lot of the same people. Sometimes you go at a different time and they're still there. It's the weirdest thing, right? You need to find somebody who already has that network or already goes there and just talk to them. They're more than likely a social person. All you have to do is ask them a question. Maybe give them a compliment on their outfit. For example, something that I did at the gym the other day. There's this guy. It's a true story. And he's like the most jacked white dude ever, right? He's probably about my age, maybe a little older. But I've seen him for years. I've just seen him around, right? He's that guy. If I'm there, he's there somewhere. And I've been seeing him for a long time. But I noticed he had a brace on his leg the last, few months. And he's been walking around on crutches still at the gym, still working hard. And one day, I saw he moved from the brace to the boot. He's walking around, and I said, "Hey, man." He just happened to be right next to me. I said, "Hey, I noticed your leg got messed up. Like, what happened?" And there's actually a crazy story. I won't get into it, but basically, like, the dude almost lost his leg, right? And like, we had a good 10-minute conversation just about how grateful he is to be able to still go to the gym, and that simple question, me just being like, "Hey, dude, like, like, I see you hobbling around. Like, what happened, man?" That completely opened up the door to have a good conversation with this guy. And I learned something about him as well. Like, this dude almost got his leg cut off, amputated. And he's still at the gym every single day. And now if I see that guy, it's cool. I say, "What's up?" It's a really cool guy. I'm glad I said something to him. So just having the wherewithal, the perspicacity to be like, "Hey, I see you all the time. What's up, bro?" Especially when you start to do that, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable while you're there. It's going to feel more like, imagine like think when you were in, ninth grade, right? You walked into class and you were not self-conscious of how you looked or how you were feeling. Like, you just walked into class and sat there. You had 30 other people within the same room, but you didn't care. It's because you knew everybody. It's because you all talked to each other all the time, right? Make the gym just like that. Make yourself more comfortable. When you put on your nice gym outfit, you walk into the gym, boom, you see 2, 3, 4 people off rip. You say, "What's up?" You're feeling good. It's a sense of community. It doesn't feel like a chore once it becomes something that's so regular to you. Another person says, "Just say hi. I've made a couple acquaintances this way. If a person is doing an exercise you are interested in, you could ask them for tips. Usually they are happy to help." Now, this is a life hack. You can use this for any endeavor of life, especially in the gym, though. If you want somebody to give their time and undivided attention to you, ask them for help on something. Ask them for a tip. Humans are very egotistical, right? Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just how we are. If you signal to somebody that they could help you, they are going to feel excited. They're going to feel elevated, and most likely they're going to want to give you a tip, right? Or they're going to want to give you some time, right? That's why sometimes if you walk up to somebody and be like, "Oh, I see you're doing this wrong. How about you do it this way?" They almost get offended because you're almost attacking their ego, even if you're not meaning to do that. Flip that around. Be like, "Hey, I see you did this bicep curl on the cable machine. I see how you do that. I never feel it when I do it. Can you kind of show me how you do it? Maybe I'll get some better progress that way." Nobody is going to be mad at you asking that question. Worst case scenario, they're like, "Hey, I'm kind of busy. I'll show you next time." Right? And if it's anything worse than that, they're probably a dick. So you don't need to talk to them anyways. But you guys see my point there. Another person says, "Smile more." Yeah, I know that women hate being told to smile more, but whatever, blah, blah, blah. It does make a difference. Don't hide yourself from others by keeping your head down and face unfriendly. Absolutely. You want to be yourself in the gym. You want to be as authentic as possible, right? I know it can be interesting when you're first going because it's all these people who seem like they own the place, people looking mad, but in reality, if my face is if I look pissed, I probably just finished a set and I'm just catching my breath, That's just kind of how it naturally goes. When you're walking around the gym, smile. If you walk by somebody, maybe you see them, give them a smile, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing creepy about that. Don't be weird. Don't walk up and get in their face and smile. Don't do that. But as you're walking by, just give them a smile, give them a little wave. Maybe say what's up. If they give you a smile back, be like, "Hey, what's your name? I see you here a lot." You should do that. And it's just gonna make you feel more comfortable. It's gonna give you that that community like school type of vibe, which sounds like a bad thing. It sounds negative, but it's actually very positive. You're trying to build comfort. That's all you're trying to do. Some of the longtime regulars in my gym will socialize like butterflies, spotting this guy for 5 minutes, then working out next to that guy for a few sets, or just chit-chatting during a rest break. I'm not there yet, but I've been there long enough that they recognize me as a regular and I get the "hey" chin raise. Boom. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm not saying you have to go there and talk the whole time. Go there, work out, focus on what you're doing. Drink your pre-workout, put your headphones on, put your hood up, whatever gets you locked in. But if you have people around you, a sense of community, it's going to be a lot more natural to you as a human. It's going to be a lot better for you to understand why you're there, to really be in touch with your inner self, right? When you're not so caught up in who's looking at you and who's around, and you're more caught up in, why you're there, focused on the benefits of you being there, it's much, much easier to get the results, to focus. Now, there's nothing wrong with being kind of to yourself, and I'm like that a lot of the time, but there's also nothing wrong with building up that community. Like I said, if the 5 people you are around go to the gym every single day, that's going to be something that you pick up pretty damn fast. There's nothing wrong with having that sense of community around you. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you apply these tips, share them with your friends so you guys can grow as a whole. Thank you for watching. Get to work.